Hey, Boise State fans, welcome into another Bronco Nation Live. We've got a loaded weekend across Boise State athletics. We got beach volleyball, gymnastics, softball, women's and men's basketball, and more. What do you got on your desk, Sam?
Yeah, we're going to cover some esports too, men's tennis, men's golf, as you said, men's basketball. But real quick, I want to invite everybody in. Go ahead and come on over to YouTube, Bronco Nation Updates on YouTube, and subscribe over there. We still need about 268 to go full monetization and 4,000 watch hours. And remember, you do that here, all that money goes to Boise State nil. And while we're at it, we're going to talk lot of esports here in just a minute. But go on over and subscribe to the esports channel as well, because they can use monetization help over there. But let's jump right in it. I mentioned esports last week. The Smash Brothers lost to Minnesota 0-2, but then the big three for for Boise State, they kind of took over against Syracuse, with Rocket League winning 3-2, Overwatch 3-1. They also beat Hawaii. Overwatch did 3-1 to win their 1600th game as an esports program, the only program in the nation to do that. Saturday, Valorant beat Colorado State 2-0, and then on last night they beat Syracuse 2-1. So to talk esports with us, we're going to bring on a man that is no stranger to esports himself, Mr. Riley Boyd. He is the business development guy over there at Boise State Esports. Riley, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate you having me on, Sam and Nick. It's always good to chat with you guys. And yeah, it's been a heck of a couple of weeks over here. It's crazy times, so it's always fun to break everything down.
Yeah, you go from Boise to Hawaii, back to Boise, win 1600. I mean, and you got nationals here in a couple weeks. What's this time of year like for you on the business end?
It's crazy. And not just on the business end, but I wear many hats here, as many folks in an athletic department do. And we were talking about it before the show. I'm also our unofficial sports information director, which is a role that I've held at previous institutions in the past. So we're rapid firing stuff out all the time, and we're busy all the time.
Yeah.
It helps that I don't feel as guilty. My wife is coaching lacrosse right now, so I don't feel as bad being at the office for 12 hours a day. Because it's crazy all the time, but we love it. This is what we enjoy doing. We love the grind of athletics, and being involved with such a great department for us, it makes it all worth it.
Right. There's plenty of time for family in the off season.
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
that used to be true for football and basketball, but now with NIL, you gotta work in the off season too.
Yeah, we talk about it. We talk about it as a department all the time when we all get together. There used to be these really defined seasons.
Yeah,
You were in fall sports, and then you were in winter sports, and you're in spring sports with a little bit of crossover season. Just doesn't exist anymore.
yeah.
It just doesn't exist anymore. It never stops.
Well, congratulations, 1,600 wins. I know that all those wins aren't attributed to you, but
This
a
many
good
are attributed to me.
the team as a whole, I mean, 1,600 wins, it's gotta feel good knowing that you work for the premier program in the nation. No other D1 program has reached 1,600 wins. How does that feel as a program?
I think it's really special, and I think what makes it even more special is when you look at a lot of programs across the country, whether they be club programs, whether they be varsity programs, or somewhere in between. They usually have a lot of titles that are involved with what they're doing. For us, we're so focused on four really that have carried us for so long. Um, and really three that have been here for a very long time. Um, Seeing that huge, amount of wins come from a small number of titles, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I was looking at the stats. Out of the games that we've played, there's only one game that we've ever had less than a 50% winning percentage, and we have multiple games that have over a 60% winning percentage all time. So I mean, we're talking really, really high dominant numbers for our titles across multiple titles for a long time. And it's pretty cool to see what Doc's built. I was a part of this as a commentator when I was in school here many years ago, 2021. And now coming back and being here for 2 years, this is year 2 for me as a full-time employee. It is just, it's special to see how this has, expanded and grown and become a place that is synonymous with winning.
Yeah. Only one sub 500 season in history of the program,
Yes, sir.
and really, I don't see that happening anywhere else. I mean, anytime soon.
It
I
would
mean,
it would it would take a collapse of tremendous proportions.
yeah,
That's for sure. We've put ourselves we've set ourselves up to be successful. That's for
yeah.
sure.
After Hawaii, you guys were 1,600 and 704 all time.
Yeah,
That's a lot of gaming.
it's a lot of games. It's
It's
a lot of games. It's
for
it's it's like baseball plus levels of games.
yeah. So all you parents out there who are telling your kids you can't make a living off of video games, at least you can get an education off of it.
It's true. It's true.
All right. What you've been with Boise State 2 years now? You said.
Yeah, in a full-time role.
Yep.
2 years now. This is my
And then
second year back.
you were a student.
Yes, sir. I got my undergrad here from 2016 to 2021. I was a student here. My last year, I came over and I did some commentary work with their Call of Duty side, which is not something that we really do anymore, but did some commentary work, and that was my introduction to esports. I wasn't even aware that this was a thing. I just knew that my teachers kept telling me that I wouldn't shut up in class, so I figured I might as well put that to good use somewhere,
Yeah.
and hopped on the commentary desk and did a little bit of work there for those guys. Kickstarted a heck of a journey for me, that's for sure.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite moments over the 2 year span where you have been part of the program?
I think as a whole, I've got to see national championships won live in multiple things. Even dating back to when I was a commentator, I was in the room when Boise State won their very first ever national championship in esports. When Wasey Williams won a Madden national championship in 2021, and kind of kicked off this idea of what an esports national champion is here at Boise State. Then I was in Vegas where we took home 2 more last year, and that was pretty incredible as well. Seeing these teams reach the pinnacle of what they could possibly do. But I think for me personally, as fun as those national championships were, 2 things stand out in my mind. And unsurprisingly, as someone who grew up bleeding blue and loving Boise State, 2 core memories that revolve around Bronco Nation really stand out for me. One was last year's Mountain West Championship. We actually had our college football 25 team play their Mountain West Championship outside of the stadium before the Vegas football game, which was unbelievable. It was so much fun to see Matt Sprub win a Mountain West championship there, and that was the first year that we'd had college football in 4 years, or any football title.
Yeah.
And seeing about 80 members of Bronco Nation gathered around outside watching him play, and then of course you transition into just one of the most unbelievable atmospheres I've ever been a part of. So that, I think that's got to be right up there. And then the other one this year, we've had a couple of what we call highlighted home games. And those highlighted home games have brought people together and actually brought fans in on a regular basis to come and see our teams play. And seeing our space sold out and Bronco Nation come together to support our student athletes on a regular basis, not just for championship games, but for games that are part of the regular season, and just seeing them get excited and involved in what we're doing. Those just stand out to me above all else.
Yeah. Boise State, or actually, we have a question, not from the Facebook and uh, YouTube
Yeah.
comments, but my pop, he's watching. He doesn't get on the old. He doesn't comment very much online, but he did send me a text. He would like to know, would you say that Boise State is on the cutting edge of esports evolution, and if so, what's next?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think we're one of the first programs to bring our program truly under athletics. The only other program that I can think at a D1 level at a D1 FBS level, I should say, that's done that is West Virginia. And even then, I think that we've done some things a little bit differently here that have set us apart in a way that have allowed us to really elevate what we're doing. So yeah, I would say so. I think what's next for us is a continued expansion of what it means to be a fan of this. That's our target, is how do we engage folks and bring them in. A huge part of that is what you all are doing, right? Talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's why, for us, we really appreciate that. And so growing a fandom is what's next for us, and bringing people in and being involved, whether that's watching online or being here in person. But essentially, the education in Bronco Nation as to why this actually is important. It's not just kids sitting in their parents' basements playing video games anymore. I mean, this is an opportunity for kids to get scholarship. And I mean, if you look at our kids, they don't look like, what you would assume a traditional gamer looks like, right? These kids, half of them are jacked, and they spend more time in the gym than they do on a video game. It's crazy. They're athletes. They're
Yeah.
athletes, and that's what they want to be. So for us, that's what's next, is bringing Bronco Nation in.
Yeah.
Something
And
something that I'm really admire about what you guys do is the production value and how you deliver this product. Can you tell us about the planning into that? Because Sam and I know a little bit about getting some production together, and it's not easy. So can you give us a little glimpse of that?
Yeah, so I can tell you, we have, in my opinion, the best broadcast producer in the nation, in collegiate esports, one of the best in esports in the country, period. Ray Barnes is absolutely incredible at what they do, and so much of that goes into understanding our technology and our software at a level that I've never seen anybody understand software before. Um, when we talk about, hey, we have this sponsor deliverable, or we have this asset that we want to run on a broadcast, I have a little bit of experience with the back end of what we use here, a combination of streaming softwares and Blackmagic. Ray just has it like that. It's incredible to see what that looks like. But I think the most incredible part about that, Ray is one person. A normal broadcast here takes anywhere between 4 and 6 people. Everybody besides Ray are students that come in and do this. We train student employees to come in, learn how to do a broadcast. They don't have to have any broadcast experience before they come. We just want them to show up. Um, and so we always say that the best ability is reliability and dependability. And students that have that, that come and show up, we'll figure out how to plug them in, and they learn what it looks like to produce a broadcast. And I think, to me, that's the most unique thing. But it's usually an hour before the broadcast starts. We've got people in there planning stuff, ready to go. Our broadcasters are there early, going through their run of show and working on their questions and their intro, and running through the script for the show to make sure that they've got the assets ready. I'm usually back there pressing buttons on lights. I told you I wear many hats. I'm pressing buttons to run all the lights in the arena, and to do all of our social media as well. And we've got all sorts of different things going on. It takes a team. It really does. But at the head of that production team is Ray, and Ray does not get enough praise for what they do here. Let me tell you, they just don't. So I'll take any opportunity I have to shout them out.
nice. Fun fact: I was a lighting director at my church once, so
Oh, there you
I know
go.
all
There
about
you go.
pushing buttons.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Stream decks with all sorts of different lighting things on it, and all
Yep.
of a sudden it doesn't work, and you're backspacing somewhere trying to figure out why the lights aren't changing color. And yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah. All right. So Boise State does have like Valorant, Overwatch, and Rocket League. They're are pretty premier, and then there's Smash. What's
Yes, sir.
up with Smash?
So this is really year one for this for this club, and this team being involved with what we're doing. Last year was, I kind of like to think of it as year zero. They were just kind of getting themselves integrated. This is their first year with us. They competed for us last year in the Mountain West, and they didn't win a game last year. So this year, to see them make the Mountain West Championship, the strides that this group has made in such a short period of time, is really incredible. And to see how they have worked their tails off. These kids, these Smash kids, most of them aren't scholarships, right? They're just here because they want to be here. They're just here because they want to get better, and they want to play for Boise State and represent their university. So They have spent so much time in here grinding and working. A lot of this group will be here next year. I would expect to see that group's trajectory continue to be exponential and do some really incredible things, because it's a group of dedicated folks. And Kelsey Mosier, their coach, is sitting right behind me here, and Kelsey is incredible at what they do as well. So if anyone's going to be able to bring that group to the next level, it's Coach K. That's no doubt. So I wouldn't be surprised if within the next couple of years you don't see a few more rings come our way for Smash as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we talked to Doc a little bit about Smash. Not the last time, I think the time before, and he said Coach K was going to turn that program around. So, uh,
Yeah. And we're seeing it. I mean,
yeah,
we've seen some upsets already. They've started to play really well. I mean, they're playing right now. They're playing Syracuse. Syracuse has one of the best professionals in the country on their team, and they're giving them a good run. So,
yeah,
um, it's starting to build. The momentum started last year, and it's starting to really go quick. Like I said, this team, I would say we're past the point of will turn them around. The turnaround's happening now.
yeah.
We're seeing a program on the rise for sure there.
Uh, what's it like working under Doc?
It is crazy. Doc is one of the most visionary people that I've ever met. I would probably go out on a limb and say the most visionary person I've ever met. um, Doc pushes us every day to be the best we can be. And he knows what our potential is, right? He knows that this group of staff and this group of players and student staff, everyone that's involved in this team, he knows, what we can be. And Doc wants us to be elite. Um, Doc understands when he hears JD say it takes an elite team, he understands that that means that you have to push your team. He has a saying. You don't get the team you want. You get the team you build. And so Doc pushes us, and we love that. I think everybody here is bought into that philosophy. Every day he comes in with a new idea. Or sees something that we're working on, and as soon as he puts his eyes on it, he's got a tweak or something, and there'll be things where at the time we'll think, Doc, there's no way this is going to work. It usually works. It's just incredible to see what he's done with not a lot of resources. The guy's built something from the ground up, and so I can't even begin to tell you how fun it is to get pushed to my limits from time to time, and chase excellence in a way that I've never had the opportunity to. And so much of that comes from Doc.
Yeah. You guys just got a new high-powered computer too to run your production because of Doc.
We did. Doc and I worked together with a company out of Kansas City, Zodiac Labs, to put that deal together. They took care of us. They got us a good rig to make sure that our stuff is continuing to be high level. We were having a problem with our old one where, in the middle of broadcasts, it would just power down. We had to swap to a backup, and it caused our broadcast team a lot of anxiety. So we were able to put something together to get a deal with Zodiac to put together a nice custom PC that does everything we need and more. And it looks pretty good too. We're
Yeah,
pretty lucky
yeah.
to have worked with
It,
those guys. So
it looked nice whenever I saw the unpackaging. I'm like, oh, that's gonna look nice.
it looks real good. It looks real good.
Yeah. Nick and I know all about things powering down right in the middle of a broadcast.
It's no
Happened
fun.
to us many
It,
times.
it's no fun. It's no fun.
Speaking of Doc being a visionary, we got another pop question.
Yeah,
Uh, this one's going to be a big visionary thing here.
sure.
Is Boise State going to be the first to get an esports ESPN broadcast contract?
Whew. I don't know if it would be the first, because if you go way, way back, ESPN has done that before. But in the modern era, I would not be surprised if it was Boise State or the Power Esports Conference that leads the way into that. Broadcast and multimedia rights is something that I know we would love to explore, and I think it's something that's on the horizon for us at some point. The Power Esports Conference is a huge part of that. When you look at the names of the schools that are involved here, right? Ohio State, Michigan State, Syracuse. I mean, you talk about high level communication. Syracuse, the Newhouse School over there, is pretty dang good as well. There are just huge names that we get to run with every day. So if ESPN was ever going to dip their toes back into esports, there's no reason that they wouldn't start with the Power Esports Conference. And I think what is nice, similar to what we have with the Pac-12 coming up next year, which will have esports, by the way, and is really exciting. But similar to what we have with the Pac-12, we all have the equivalent of our own Pac-12 studios in-house. We all know how to produce our games already. And it's not something where a network has to come in and put this huge amount of money behind production because we're running it ourselves.
Right.
So I think that we have the opportunity to do something special there. I don't know what a timeline on something like that looks like, but I would not be surprised if the Power Esports Conference, and specifically Boise State, was not among the first, if not the first, to make it happen.
Nice. There you go, Pop. Well, let's look ahead at Ohio State next week. The fall matchup with Valorant. Is basically a a preview of the Natty. Round
Yes,
one, round two of the Natty is next week.
Yes, sir.
It's disappointing outcome in the fall. What are you looking, or what's kind of the mentality of the team going forward, looking to do besides obviously win? What are they looking to do this go around?
This team has evolved so much in the last 3 or 4 months. They have started to really understand their strengths and play to their strengths in a way that I don't think they quite had in the fall. This group has unified in a way that previously I don't know if they hadn't achieved that level of kind of cohesiveness. But I think going into Ohio State this week, this group feels confident that any of them, all 6 of them, because we do have a sub who plays pretty frequently as well. All 6 of them can step in and play whatever role we ask them to play and play it well, and play together. The communication has changed drastically within this team. They've worked really hard on how they're communicating. And we don't want to give away all the secrets, but Doc has worked his butt off on understanding the analytics of what we do here. Never Take a Fair Fight is the name of the book that he wrote, and he means it. He means it. He has worked so hard on understanding the analytics and making sure that we know what we need to do each round, each map pick. I mean, every aspect of the game, he has spent breaking down and making sure that our players are ready to go. So I think when it gets time to go here in a week or just under a week, that team is going to be as ready as any team has ever been for a big game. Genuinely. I don't know that there's been a college esports program that has focused on the analytics in the way that Doc has in the past. So that's been the big changes. This group has just locked in and focused on every aspect to make sure they're prepped, because it is a national championship preview. We don't want to disrespect anybody else that's in our conference, and in the PEC, right? Michigan State is defending national champions. Utah has put together a heck of a squad, but we feel like us and Ohio State have kind of separated ourselves, and a win here next week gives us the 1 seed going in. And that's huge for us. You want to be on the right side of the bracket for this thing. So we've got a chance to be the 1 seed in Vegas, and that's critical to what we're doing.
So as you guys have been doing the analysis and putting everything underneath this microscope, right? Going into your art of war, what component gives you guys the most concern leading into this?
I don't know if it's concern, but I think for us, it's making sure that as we prepare, knowing what we need to play. So in Valorant, right, you're picking and you're banning maps, and that is so critical to the game, because teams have things that they're really good at and they have things that they're not so good at, and every team has that. Nobody's great across the board. That's just not possible. And so I think for us, what is so critical is making sure that we know what maps we want to play and what maps we really don't want to play, and more importantly, what they're very good at, so we can eliminate all those variables in a way that we can avoid, stepping into a trap, right? I think if you watch the game against Syracuse last night, Syracuse got first pick. They picked Bind. Syracuse is really good at bind. Syracuse beat us 13-4 on bind last night. They looked like world beaters last night. And then when we got to the maps that we wanted and we were able to start to control the picks and the draft of the map, we were able to take care of business. But it's so critical that we're looking at everything around the team and making sure that we put ourselves in the best place to win.
I was looking back up here. Dude, so that's basically the only one that they. So basically, next time you play Syracuse, you're banning Bind.
We'll see, probably, but I mean, our team isn't so bad on it, and you never know. They've got a month or so before Vegas. That's plenty of time to lock in and get themselves ready to go, and if they have a chance to get good at that as well, and be ready to beat Syracuse on their own turf, that wouldn't be so bad either. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah. I know we talked a lot about Overwatch tonight, mainly because Ohio State's such a dominant force in the PEC, along with Boise State. Um, what about let's switch over to Overwatch just real
Sure.
quick,
Yeah.
and we could ask the same questions. You're going to probably give us the same answers. You don't want to give away too much, but I do want to ask. The new heroes came out. You were able to play with them last week,
Mhm,
this week, I should say.
mhm.
You had the exhibition matches at the end of the games last week, and got to talk to Doc a little bit about those. What are your thoughts on the new heroes? Which ones are your favorites, and do you like them better than the old ones? Or are you still kind of like a mix?
Well, I'll be transparent with you. Overwatch has never really been where I spend a ton of my time. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that I love the fact that in a game that is so serious and taken so seriously, I didn't love the fact that the newest and probably most popular edition is Jetpack Cat.
That's
I mean, it
definitely a
sounds so
fan favorite.
it sounds so goofy. And it is, right? It's funny, and it adds an air, it adds a little bit of humor to it. But from everything that I've seen from how our team plays it, it can be incredibly impactful, and it just adds an element of movement to the game that hasn't been there in the past, and it elevates what we're doing in a way that's meaningful. So it's kind of unique to see that. I think for me, I enjoy seeing that level of creativity from our team, and it's allowed us to do some cool things. We ran it against Hawaii a couple nights ago and worked out pretty good. So I think that's pretty cool. And I love when games evolve and they're not stagnant. So I love that they're being introduced. But again, like I said, I'm not much of an Overwatch player, but the few times that I've hopped on and did my best, I played Diva and Lucio, and they were original heroes from the game. So I can't say that I like the new ones more than the old ones, seeing as my little experience is on the old ones, I think. But it's
Yeah.
fun to see the team evolve and have different strategy. And yeah, I think uh, in Overwatch especially, composition is so critical. That everything about that game is based around your comps. So I know our team's been putting in a lot of work to figure out the best comps, and Doc himself is a theory crafter. He'll try different things, and um, he'll do different things with this team to try and have little tricks up his sleeve. So I wouldn't be surprised if all 5 of these new heroes that have come into the game, plus the ones that have been released recently, haven't allowed him to really get in his bag and just get real weird with it. Just get real weird with it.
All right. Well, it looks like I just looked over and the stream ended. Do you have an update on the Smash by any chance?
I don't, but I did hear a lot of yelling in there. So I can take a look and see if anything's been posted. But I
Yeah,
am
I
not.
I looked over to try and get a final score or get an update, and it wasn't there anymore. So
Well, dang. Yeah, let
yeah,
me I can take a look and see if something got updated anywhere. But It was a long broadcast, which makes me think that it's got a chance. In fact, let me see how it ended. I can look at the final score right now. Looks like last I saw, being tied with Syracuse was pretty good, and it was 7-8. It looks like Syracuse came out on top, but boy, it was pretty tight. I'll tell you what, that's a great result for us, though.
Yeah.
We never want to lose, but as this group has continued to build, seeing them take a team that has a professional on it like that and really push themselves quickly. I think that team has a lot to be pretty proud of.
Yeah.
And I think it builds momentum getting ready for Vegas.
Took them right down to the wire.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. They lost, I think,
All right.
9-7 in the last game. So
Yeah.
it's about as tight as it gets.
Nick, you have any other questions for Riley here?
No, I'm soaking up everything you're spitting out, Riley, and I really appreciate all the information you're giving me, because I know if I'm learning something, I know our viewers are, and I think that, as we talked about the great opportunities that are available just right around the horizon for PEC and Boise State, like this kind of thing, I dig. I love this. So I'm just sitting here digging everything that you're spitting out, my friend, and I love the live updates, and
Yeah.
I'm just digging it, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I think it's kind of fun. I get to come at this from a little bit different perspective. Esports was not my first love. I come from college athletics. I come from traditional sports. I coached high school basketball for a long time, and I worked in sports information and game day ops, and kind of being behind the scenes of what it looks like to be involved in a college athletic department. And I fell in love with that, and my wife comes from the same thing. And so for us now to be able to kind of be in this atmosphere of bringing something that has been so traditionally in a lot of people's heads so far away from athletics, and then athletics, and bringing them together and merging them, I just feel lucky to be involved in it, I'll be honest with you, and to be doing it at my alma mater, in a place that I love and adore. It's pretty good. I'm a lucky man. I'm a lucky man.
That's living the dream, my friend.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. And I never gave two thoughts about esports until I said, well, hey, it's an athletic program. It's part of Boise State. Let's look into it. And I mean,
It's
we
crazy.
we did an esports showcase, had Doc on, and really dove into it. And like, all right, let me watch some of this now. I'm interested in. And I didn't know what was going on half the time that I'm watching. I still don't know what's going on half the time in Valorant and uh, Overwatch. But I'm sitting there, I'm find myself on the edge of the seat, not knowing
Yeah.
what's going on. But I know I can tell if we're winning, if we're close, if we're losing. You can tell, and it's just one of those deals where you don't realize how exciting it is till you actually sit down and watch it and see the excitement.
It's true. We got to get you out here for a game, Sam, and you too,
Yeah.
Nick. We got to get you guys out here when this place is full and it's loud and raucous. It's
I've got my
different,
cowbells ready. The minute I heard
Bring 'em.
Doc say, "Hey, we like cowbells," like that same week, I got 2 of them. So
Let's go. Bring them. Bring them.
all right,
Let's get down here, and we've got one more game this week, or this year. Ohio State on Tuesday. It's our Overwatch home game. But then next year we'll start up again. In the fall. That's kind of the beautiful thing about this thing, is it's fall and spring. So there's lots of opportunities. Let's get you guys out here, and
Yeah.
we'll get you. I won't even make you sit at the media table where you have to be quiet and respectful like you would in anything else. I'll let you guys cover it from the front row. How about that?
All right.
because I'm nothing close to quiet. That's for sure.
It's hard. It's hard, being at a press table and not being able to cheer. I remember I was writing for First Kick Was Good before I came into this whole esports world, and I was covering the UCF game here 3-4 years ago that was in Boise, and being up in the press box and at the table, and I've got Mike Prater to my left and Jay Tuss to my right, and they're so serious and somber, and I'm like, can't say anything. I just keep my head down on my laptop, and I'm just, I'm excited, and then I'm disappointed, and we end up losing the game, and it was no good. But so we don't do that here. We don't have to maintain decorum at the scorer's table, if you will. In fact, we would encourage you to not.
Yeah, I love your announcers too. I mean, they really keep an audience into everything. So
Love it.
We're lucky. We've got some incredible folks that come here and work with us. That's for sure.
well, let's do some quick rapid fire. We like to do it with the athletes we bring on, but there's no reason we can't do it with you either. So
Sure.
let's jump right into this right here.
Sure.
Lightning round. Answer them as fast as you can, and we'll get through this.
Sure.
Your favorite warm-up song?
Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Favorite Boise restaurant?
Favorite Boise restaurant? Bar Guernica.
All right. Pineapple on pizza?
No, sir.
Oh, and that's it. Well, all the time we have with Riley today.
My wife loves it. My wife loves it, but it's not for me. It's not for me.
Stanley or Owala?
I'm a Stanley guy.
Yeti or Arctic?
I'm a Yeti guy.
Fry sauce or ketchup?
Oh, fry sauce.
Favorite sport to watch?
Surprising, but soccer.
Oh, nice. Blue Bunny or Blue Bell?
Blue Bell for the flavors, the different flavors that they've got.
No, not Blue Bell. Never mind.
First one, Sam.
Yeah.
Blue Bell's good. Oh man, it's because you can't get it out here in the West Coast. You can't get it.
There's a reason for that. Snow or beaches?
Snow. I'm from here. You have to say snow, right?
If you could add any game to the esports lineup, what would it be?
Well, I'm biased. I had my start in Call of Duty. I'd love to bring it back someday. I know the feasibility of that is small to none for a multitude of reasons, but it's popular for so many people. I'd love to bring it back someday.
All right. If you're stuck on an island, what 3 items do you bring?
That's a good one. I'm probably bringing my favorite book, which at the moment is Project Hail Mary. Getting ready for that movie to come out here pretty soon. I'm excited for that. I'm probably bringing a soccer ball, and I am probably bringing. Oh, I don't have it in here. I'm probably bringing my collection. We did esports on it cards, but my football on it collection as well that I have at home. Just so I can enjoy that.
All right. Well, Riley, thanks for joining us tonight. Really enjoyed having you on. Here's to 1,600 more wins, and
Yes,
you being a part of all of them.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for covering everything we do, and go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Thanks, Riley.
Thanks, y'all.
When it comes to painting, precision matters. Crosby Custom Coatings, led by Scott Crosby since 1979, delivers elite craftsmanship for homes and businesses across Boise. With attention to detail and a commitment to excellence, they make every surface shine. Call Crosby Custom Coating today at 208-370-4696 and bring color and quality to your world. That's 208-370-4696.
All right. Well, this segment brought to you by Loretta's Music Studio, Creations and Wreaths, making music and crafts together. Find out how you can contact Loretta Dorn for all your music and crafts needs at bronconationupdates.com/directory. Well, Nick, women's gymnastics, they're kind of in a little bit of slump right now. Why don't you give us a quick little rundown of what's going on over there?
Yeah, I think for gymnastics, we can kind of relate now. Riley talked about the Smash team being kind of a younger team. If you remember, we had Emlo on for the preseason preview, and we also had Emma Loyam on, and we already understood that this was going to be a younger team. I think that that's kind of what they're experiencing right now. And, they are coming off back-to-back regular season Mountain West championships, but they're really young this year. Yeah, they kind of had another pitfall last weekend against a really good Utah State squad. Utah is ranked 21st, I believe, in the nation. So yeah, they fell to Utah State 194.950 to 196.325 over there in Logan. Still, they are progressing, and they're getting season best in different routines as they go along this season. So, I think as a fan of gymnastics, or just a diehard Boise State fan, we do have high expectations, but at this step of the journey with this team, kind of like the Smash team that Riley was talking about, is they are very young. So, you have to kind of bring the expectations down more to a realistic term. And that's kind of where they're at. Coach Bird is awesome. And, if you put this up against the SMART goals that are in the standard, she's got another 5 years to really build, this squad that she has, this young squad, into, another championship caliber squad. But that being said, with the way that they're improving and these routines, and the way some of these freshmen are taking advantage of the exhibitions that they're performing in, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing, even though the record's not reflecting that. You just kind of look at it in that way, in the terms of, are they progressing? Are they learning? Are they building something here? And I think they are.
Yeah. Yeah, over in men's tennis, they're ranked 63rd right now. So that's pretty good. They went down to Arizona, took on Grand Canyon, who's ranked 60. They lost 2-5 over there, but then they turned around down there in Blank Lipscomb 7-0. It's their fourth 7-0 sweep of the season. Carson Baker earned his 15th and 16th single win on the season, so he's doing pretty good. He's undefeated at the number 4 spot in singles this season at 4-0. Avery Talixon, perfect at the number 2 spot at 3-0 in singles, and then Idris Haddish and Philip Soderquist, they won their first match as a pair. So good things going on in the Boise State tennis, even though they had that one loss this weekend. They're still moving and grooving.
And over there in Boise State beach volleyball, they're heading into this weekend with their toughest slate of the entire season. They're taking on some powerhouses. The battle for LA, they're calling it, and the Broncos are about to run into a wall of top 10 national powers. But before we get into who they're facing, let's recap on what they did last week, and it was really impressive. So they opened up the season, 2026 season, 3-1, including 2 wins over teams receiving AVCA national poll votes. Allison Alden and Serena Vandermeid went 4-0 on the number 2 court, including a sweep against number 15 Florida Atlantic, and that's what they brought in. Talent like this, especially Serena Vandermeid, a national championship of her own for the Netherlands. But they are going into another big test over there in LA, and so Boise State's 3-1. They're going to face 3 top 10 opponents. So first up is number 2 UCLA, and that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. our time, Mountain Time, and then follow that up by taking on number 3 Cal Poly. Right after that, it's basically this is going to be a double header, kind of like a softball thing. And then Saturday they're taking on Cal State Northridge at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and then again they're going to have another doubleheader, and then they'll cap that off with number 8 Loyola Marymount Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. This is only the second time in program history the Broncos have played back-to-back top 5 opponents. But they are still chasing that first ever win versus a top 10 team, and this is why they made this big jump to the Big 12. And if I'm taking a good glance at what Serena and Allison did, I think they're in a good position to really make some history out there. It is their first ever meetings with UCLA and Loyola, but they do trail Cal Poly 2-4, but they won the last matchup 4-1 in 2022. At the time, Cal Poly was ranked number 13. But they do lead the all-time series against Cal State Northridge. Just want to remind our viewers, we are anticipating having a future Bronco talk with international star Serena Vandermeer coming soon to the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. We also had we did an article on her before she got to campus. So stay tuned to that. It's coming soon.
All right. Well, the men's golf, they've kicked off. They won the Lake Las Vegas Invitational over in Raging Cajun country. They won it with a 23 under par. It's their 20th team win in program history and 4th under head coach David Trainer. It's the second team and individual championship this season. The last time that happened, Nick, you want to take a guess? Last time that the men's golf won the team and individual championship?
I'm thinking 2013?
Nope. 1992-93 season was the last time that they won both the team and individual championship, multiple team and individual championships in 1 year, or in one season. So Cole Ruck was the.
I was trying to remember when Merritt was on the squad.
We're going to talk a little bit about Troy Merritt here in just a minute. But Cole Ruick, I don't know how. We'll just say Cole. He earned his 8th career championship, second this season, and that ties Troy Merritt for second most top 10 finishes in program history at 15. So he gets one more top 10 finish, and he gets sole possession of second place over Mr. Merritt, who went on to play in the PGA. But he was the individual champion at the Lake Las Vegas Invitational. So good job with the men's soccer team. Coach David Trainer over there really getting the guys ready and getting some good work going.
And in softball, some of our other programs are making history. They're not the only ones. Softball is too. They're coming into this weekend. It actually starts tomorrow with the doubleheader. They're going to be entering the Woo Pig Classic. Boise State softball is currently 8-8, and they're heading over to the Woo Pig Classic, hosted by Arkansas. Again, that starts tomorrow. They have a doubleheader against Big 12 Kansas, and then right after that, they got the SEC's number 5 Arkansas. But before we get more into the weekend, let's recap what happened this last weekend. Boise State beat number 10 Stanford 5-4. That is the highest ranked win in school history, beating a number 10 squad. They were down 3-0 with no hits entering the 6th. When Boise State erupted, Marissa Gonzalez hit an RBI single, and then our recent Bronco Talk star Skylar Stroh got to the plate in the bottom of the 6th and hit a 3-run bomb, and that was her second in 2 days. The day prior, she hit a bomb against Santa Clara to win that game, and then after that, that rattled number 10 Stanford, and the Broncos we're gifted four straight walks and a free run. So we'll take that 5-4 victory any day of the week. And then the defense held off a bases loaded situation to clinch that upset. And then, but Stanford got back at him the very next day to cap off the Invitational. Broncos were up 2-0 heading into the bottom of the seventh, and I was like, we're going to do this twice in a row. And then, and they came one strike away from Stanford again, but the Cardinals scored 3 with 2 outs to win on a walk-off single, 3-2. And, you know, that just shows you that, hey, that's what a number 10 school in the nation is going to do. So notables during that during this road trip so far this season, Boise State has 2 wins versus ranked teams this year, all below number 15. Stroh's breakout season continues. She has 6 extra base hits and a team leading 17 RBIs. And then Lula Ray McNamara, the ace, one of our aces in the circle, she leads the team and the nation with 15 appearances. Now, heading into the Woo Pig Classic, you know, this is going to be another tough challenge. You know, you got Big 12, you got the SEC, and you have the Summit League darling Omaha squad, who is 10-1 in this season and has already actually taken one from the Broncos. So they're going to see a revenge match on Saturday. They have another doubleheader. They have a doubleheader tomorrow. They have a doubleheader Saturday against Omaha and Kansas, and then they will cap it off on March 1st, Sunday, against Charlotte, and that's their first meeting against that team. Boise, I will mention that Boise State is 4-18 all time against Big 12 programs, so they got 2 chances to improve on that. And if there was ever a team that I've been covering, you know, in the last decade, I'm kind of confident that I think they could get 1 or 2 in this Woo Pig Classic. Just want to let the viewers know again, invite you to watch the new Bronco Talk with Boise State second baseman Skylar Stroh. We had her on the show earlier this week, and you can catch that as well on the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel.
Yep. And speaking of the YouTube channel, while we get ready to go to break here, subscribe for us, and let's build that channel up. 1,000 followers, 4,000 watch hours. We get monetized. We send that over to NIL, or to the Boise State's NIL fund. You don't have the money to donate to the NIL. This is your chance to do it.
Yeah, it's free.
Music and creativity come alive at Loretta's Music Studio. Loretta Dorn combines the joy of making music with the art of crafting beautiful wreaths and creations. Whether you're learning an instrument or adding handmade charm to your home, Loretta Studio is where inspiration meets tradition. For more information, go to the Serving Bronco Nation directory.
All right.
All right, guys. Go ahead, my
What was
friend.
that? Oh, this segment brought to you by Crosby Custom Coatings, offering the Treasure Valley and beyond the highest quality repaints on the market at affordable prices since 1979. Email crosbycustompainting@gmail.com for more information.
Okay, guys, we are in the basketball segment. I think a lot of people have been waiting for this one. But we do love all Boise State sports, and we're proud that we cover them, you know, all season long, no matter what sport it is, not just the big 3 or big 5. But let's talk some round ball, my friend.
Yep. So the men got back in the win column this last Saturday after losing to Utah State with a win over Wyoming, San Jose State, 84-69. Behind Drew Fielder's 20 points. Andrew Meadow finally got hot with his 16 points on the night. And then Dylan Andrews rounded out with 12 and Javen Buchanan with 11. And they really, I mean, that game was never in question. Boise State remains undefeated at home against San Jose State, improving to 24-0 all time against San Jose State at home. They've won 17 of the last 18 head-to-head matchups with the Spartans as well, and they've only lost 4 times in the history. The Boise State leads the series 44-4. So, really good game for the Broncos. Drew Fielder collected his 8th 20-point game of the season and 9th of his career. So he's scoring good for us. Let's hope that keeps moving on for come tournament time. We're right around the corner from tournament time. We start tournament next week, right? I believe so. The end of next week.
We only have 2 games, I believe, for the men.
Fresno State and San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Yep. And then Colorado State. We got 3.
3. All right.
Yep. I believe Colorado State's the last game of the season. But speaking of Wyoming, we weren't, but we are now. Boise State beat Wyoming 72-62, completing the season sweep behind Dylan Andrews 20 points. Drew Fielder had 18 as well. Javen Buchanan was 17, and Andrew Meadow put up 10. Boise State improves to 28-15 all time against Wyoming, and they're 17-1 when leading at half, and 12-0 when surrendering fewer than 70 points. So, you want to take a guess at what game that they didn't win after leading at half? I'll give you a hint. They were up by a lot.
UNLV or
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Dylan Andrews notched his 6th 20-point performance of the year. RJ Keene led the team in rebounds with 9, assists with 4, steals with 2, and blocks with 2. So Keene had himself a stat book night. That really good to see because, I mean, he gets minutes but doesn't really put up the stats. So it's really good seeing him contribute in the stat sheet as well as being that glue guy. And Dominic Parolin recorded multiple blocks for the 4th time this season. The 2 rejections tied his season high as well. Looking ahead, we got Fresno State later on Saturday. Yes, Saturday.
Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Yep, 6 o'clock or 6:30, I believe, is what it is now. 6:30
Okay.
Central Time. Yep. So it may end up being 6 o'clock by the time they get through everything. But Boise State's projected to win 63.6% of the time. Really, it really is evenly matched. If Fresno State's going to win it, it's going to be because Boise State can't take care of the ball. Boise State's been really turnover prone as of late, and Fresno State comes up with 7 steals a game on average. So take care of the ball, take care of business, and win out. There is a chance with 3 games to play that Boise State could find themselves in a 4 seed. Right now, Utah State and San Diego State look like they're going to be the 1 and 2 seeds, with New Mexico State right there as a 3 seed. But Boise State beat New Mexico twice, and they're only 3 games behind with 3 games to play. New Mexico State loses those 3 games, hit their 3 games. Boise State wins their 3 games. It could be a 3 seed. I don't think that's going to happen, but New Mexico losing their 3 games. But there is a chance. Boise State's only 2 games behind Nevada, so they could end up getting it there. Just looking over here, you know what? There is a chance. New Mexico's got San Diego State on Saturday. Then on the 4th, they've got Colorado State, and on the 7th, they got Utah State at Utah State. But San Diego State and Colorado State are both at home. So, but you know what? I've seen stranger things happen there, my friend. So, 3 seed is not out of the question, but the 4 seed is probably more obtainable at this point. What are the ladies doing, Nick? They just had a really good game over there last night in the X.
Yeah, but I would say that this Fresno State game is not a gimme for the Broncos because Fresno State has been rising as of lately, and San Diego State's end of the season schedule looks like a gauntlet, man.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their work cut out for them, and they're coming to the X for senior night, so looking forward to that one. over there in the women's side of things, they're doing really good. Very impressed. I was at the game last night. Unfortunately, they did drop that one by 2. But Sam, you want to grab that overlay for me?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. I just want to put a little shine on our Fab Four here. It's been a blessing to cover their entire careers. And we do that from the recruiting trail up until, like in this case, you have 4 future Hall of Famers, in my opinion, and all 3 of them have scored 1,000 career points. You have Natalie Pasco, who's currently 2nd all-time in 3-pointers and 5th all-time in scoring. It's just been a blessing to watch these players come onto the court, mature, grow into really giving this program a legitimate shot at getting a Mountain West Conference tournament championship and get into the big dance in the postseason. I really think that they have a shot. Even though they lost an important game to San Diego State last night, it really could have been won if they would have been shooting as they always do from the charity stripe. To me, that's kind of the difference in that game. But Boise State lost a razor-tight battle to San Diego State last night in front of a record crowd. It was very loud. I was loud. It was a great atmosphere, and I hope that and that's what I hope for this program, because they really deserve it, for everybody to show up. Saturday is going to be senior night for them, so that we can honor especially these 4 and the other seniors for really putting all they have onto the court, and then for the blue and orange. But last night's top performers were Tatum Thompson. She scored 14 points, had 9 boards, and she had a career high of 5 steals, believe it or not. And then Natalie Pasco, she added 14 points and 7 boards. And Libby Hutton also had 13 points and 6 boards. Really would like to see Libby Hutton. She is a sophomore, she has tons to grow, but she's got a lot of talent. Sometimes we have sharp shooters there from beyond the arc, and sometimes she'll get the ball and she's just like doesn't know what to do. She wants to, for a split section she wants to shoot it, but really her strength is like driving in and getting those hard fought scores. But I think if she perfects that craft and that timing, I think I already know we have a future star on the court, but that would make her almost invincible, because once she gets the ball there in the paint, you can cancel Christmas, because she's gonna get in there for an easy layup. This was their first loss of the year when leading at halftime. At halftime, they were up 29-21, and also a first loss when out rebounding an opponent. They're the only loss too. Yeah, they're the only Mountain West team to start the same lineup all season. And what I'll say last night, probably the big difference was that percentage from the free throw. I think they shot 60%, and that's way out of their character. And then also that first 5 minutes coming out of half, San Diego State just could not miss the trays, man. It was just you're just sitting there going, oh man, I don't like this. And that was really the tail of the tape in that. But I think that this gives them some confidence. I think that when they go into the Mountain West tournament, I think that right now they're either tied for second or they may be in third, but they're going to have a bye, and I really think that they have a good shot. And if they meet up with San Diego State again, I think that they'll win on a neutral court. Coach P said that they didn't execute down the stretch, and those little mistakes catch up on you against a good team, and we kind of saw that. So what's next? Boise State hosts Utah State on Saturday for Senior Day. So I want Bronco Nation to show up. Students, if you could pack that student section and then truly be the corral, they've got an awesome product. So let's support that. I also want to invite our viewers. We have put in a lot of work for this team. We've had these Fab Four on our Bronco Talks. You can find each one of those Bronco Talks with these amazing seniors, these future Hall of Famers. You can find those shows on the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel as well.
Just coming over here and looking, it looks like there's a 3-way tie for second place for the ladies. Currently with Colorado State, UNLV, and Boise State. I was looking at the schedule here, and Boise State does own the head-to-head on Colorado State, and they play UNLV the last game of the year, and they only play each of them once. So if everybody wins out, and Boise State and UNLV could be a 2-seed play-in game, basically, because Boise State does hold the tiebreaker over Colorado State.
And another plus, Bronco Nation, if you do show up on Saturday for Senior Day, you're going to probably see some really good fireworks because, and this is going to be a great redemption game for the Broncos. Not that they should overlook the Aggies, but the Aggies currently have a record of 6-21 overall and 2-16 conference record. But but these Broncos, they don't look at that way. They do stay in the moment. If you watch the interviews, especially with Tatum and Natalie, they are hyper focused on who's in front of them, and so I believe we're going to see an awesome game for these seniors, and they're gonna leave it all on the floor in their last home game at Boise State.
All right, and right now, currently going on track and field, competing at the Mountain West Conference Indoor Conference Championship. We will have those results maybe as an overtime this weekend. If not, we will have them on Bronco Nation Live next Thursday, same time, same place. So, yeah. Nick, do you have any final thoughts for the evening?
Yep. Before I get to my final thoughts, I'd like to cue the other board.
Oh, yes. There is one more board. Hold on. Let's get back there. I am sorry.
Boom. Earlier this week, Boise State announced the date for the spring game, and media members also got the schedule for spring camp. So it's getting close. The new Pac-12 era is getting so close. They've set a date of April 25th. There still is the official date, Saturday, April 25th. The time is still to be determined, but usually, if I remember correctly, these spring games usually start around 12:30, somewhere around in there. But just keep checking into BroncoNationUpdates.com, and we will give you the most accurate and most up-to-date news that there is on things like this.
Speaking of Pac-12, right around the corner, if you're not already, go ahead and go join the Pac-12 conference group that we have up there. It's got over 3,500 fans in it right now from all over Pac-12 Nation. Go ahead and join over there. Let us know where you're from. Post over there and invite all your friends, family, and coworkers. And if you feel like you want to, go ahead and make a Facebook page for your babies and put them in the group too.
They can do that. They can do that for YouTube as well.
Yeah. Subscribe,
use all your email.
subscribe.
Yep. Use all your emails and go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Do all the things. It's free, man.
Yeah. All right. Now, Nick, wrapping up our show, you got any final thoughts?
No, the only thing that my final thought is, support. I know football's over, basketball's coming to an end, and I know that it hasn't been the best season. But what's Bleeding Blue, man? Bleeding Blue is supporting the program, because if we're supporting, if the head is football, and we're supporting the body, that supports the head, right? So when it comes down to all these other programs like softball and women's basketball and track and field, springtime's coming and they're returning, right? And especially softball, we're heading into next week. The Blue Collar Classic will be right upon us. Sam and I are working with former softball great Mackenzie Hanna. We're going to be doing a Bronco Talk review on the road trip that they're completing after this weekend, and also previewing the Blue Collar Classic in the season ahead. Get her insights on what it is to be a Bronco softball player and don the blue and orange threads. But my main thing is just go support these teams, especially the women's teams. They have great products like the women's basketball and the softball team. They're really trending in the right direction. And even when the program isn't, like Riley was saying, with the Smash team, these programs are building. They're building for the future, and that means that they're building for recruitment. And the more that we support them, the more talent that we're going to attract, and the better overall it is, especially going into the Pac-12. And, the goal is to get to the Power Four. And to do that, we have to support all these programs, establish Olympic and championship programs. And the only way to do it is to get our butts in seats and support these programs. So my final thoughts are just go support the women on Saturday. They deserve it. You got 4 future Hall of Famers. They're going to be on the court. So let's pack the eggs, man. Let's pack it like we've never packed it before.
And to your point about the programs building and just show up and show out, really show your support. The people that are boycotting the teams because they're not playing to the standard, you're not hurting the guys on the floor by doing that. You're hurting future recruits, because the guys on the floor, they've already got their bag. Future recruits, if you don't show up, they can't pay them. That's all. That's what the name of the game is anymore. So if you want your team to be better, you gotta show up. You gotta show up and prove that the fans are there in the stands, and they will support a dominant team. And it'll come. It'll come. But I do want to give a quick shout out to the Bourbon Beer and Basketball crew. Last night, of course, we had Nick join us from the X at halftime of the game, the women's game. We cover a lot of stuff, man. And we've got next week we're going to be dealing with conference championships. The Bourbon Beer and Basketball is going to be right in the middle of all of them.
We're here, man.
We're going to dive into all of them. We may talk a little bubble talk here and there, but I think the majority of the show is where we're at in each conference championship and where we're going, who's going to win, who's out with an early loss, who's in with a close championship win or loss. We're going to talk a bunch of different things. So that game's going to be show's going to be really huge for you to come in and kind of pick our brains. Let us know in the comments your hot takes and stuff. Pick our brains and get ready for the Bourbon Beer and Basketball tournament pool, as well as the Bronco Nation Live tournament pool. And we'll have both of those out to you within the week for sure. So you can start signing up. So with that, Nick, I am all out of words.
Yeah, folks, it's ramping up. So if you're watching the replay on this or watch it right now, and you wanted to comment, go ahead and comment even after the show's done. And as I always say, do the thing, like and share, invite your friends, and subscribe to all of your email accounts. That'll help us out. But yeah, just do all the things. Really, this is for Boise State, and we love the university, and we're this is a labor of love. So do all the things. Boise athletics is surging across the board. Beach volleyball entering its toughest challenge yet. Softball collecting statement performances. Basketball is fighting towards the postseason. Track and field entering championship season, and football spring buzz is heating up. Thanks for tuning in, into Bronco Nation Live. We'll see you next time. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Blue Elevation Elevating Bronco sports through fans like you. Every donation fuels Boise State athletics, scholarships, and community projects, helping student athletes reach championship levels. With over $13,000 raised, Blue Elevation is Boise State's #1 crowdsourcing outlet. Join the movement, elevate the Broncos, and make every gift count. Visit blueelevation.org to elevate Boise State to the next level.